Right folks, and welcome back. So the title of today's video is We're Struggling. So I think just like everybody else, it has been the most horrendous year this year. We've had a really wet spring, it's continued, even last night it's been absolutely torrential rain, the weather's been horrible, and we're trying to get jobs done, but just everything's against us. You'll probably see, so people that don't know, we've had problems up here, security problems. 20 years ago in Dumfries and Galloway, you'd just leave your house door open. Nobody would dream of breaking in, nobody would dream of touching your stuff. We had CCTV fitted nearly 3 years ago after we had a break-in. We need to get the yard fence back in. I've discussed this on previous videos. So this summer, the concentration is getting the gates back on, the yard fenced with a 6-foot high fence like it was before, getting the yard concreted, well, 2 patches in the yard concreted here. People have said about gravelling it, putting hardcore down. I can't do that. We get deliveries, like deliveries of pallets and stuff, and the lorries really struggle. We've had people refuse to deliver pallets here, so we need concrete up to the gates. So we need concrete from my shed doors up to the gates, fairly level with a drain in it, so lorries can reverse up and drop a pallet either at the gates or in my yard. Also this area here, it's like a parking bay. I'll turn the camera around in a minute, but it's always been a mess. I've hardcored it twice in the last 10-11 years, and the weeds just keep growing back through. We've been digging these fence posts in, and it's all like tree roots and weeds and not quite sure what they are, brambles and stuff. And putting hardcore down, if you're parking vehicles there for a long time, like a van I've got broken down and one of the Land Rovers, the weeds are just going to come through the hardcore and it'll just be a mess again. So I think it's just worth waiting and doing it right, and doing it once and doing it right. That cat, she's got lovely clean water, she's got a bowl of water, bowl of food, and she's drinking muck out of her tub. So this is what we're on with at the moment. Actually sat and looked through my photos, and we started at the first gate post in 7 weeks ago, so it's took us 7 Saturdays. Obviously I only really have a Saturday that I've got available. Self-employed, I work away like everybody. Those gate posts look really tall, that it's an optical illusion, they're nowhere near as tall as they look. So we're using telegraph poles for uprights. I was wanting to use some sort of nice galvanised posts. They're so expensive, folks. We're on a budget here, and I sat and worked out last night what this is costing me. So to put the gates on, put the fence back up, and concrete 2 bays is costing nearly £5,000. Now, as a percentage compared with sheds I've built in the past, that whole shed there only cost 14,000 including concrete. So, you know, like anybody knows, the cost of living, cost of materials has gone sky high. So we're just trying to utilise what we've got. It's going to be a wooden fence either side of the gate post, and up the side of the ditch it's going to be tin sheets painted grey just to match in with that shed. I don't know whether to cut that tree down or not. So we've basically put the posts about 10 foot apart just now. I've cut a load more telegraph poles up last night. They're different lengths. I've cut some at 9 foot so I can dig them into the ground more, because the ground slopes away. Although we're going to make this up with hardcore before we concrete, I want to get them in well so the fence doesn't fall into the ditch. I've pulled the fence back about 2 foot from where it was before because it was falling into the ditch. So all these posts, so that string line's at 4 foot and the posts are going to be cut off at 6 foot, so 2 foot above the string line. So that'll be next Saturday's job, weather permitting, because the weather keeps getting us, keeps knocking hell out of us. So next Saturday will be put another post in there, 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 so another 5 posts. So we've got the posts nice and close together so the fence doesn't sag. we're going to order larch boards for the front here, so larch going up and down with just a pencil gap between it, but we are going to set it up off the concrete so it doesn't wick moisture and rot. So we've got a drain in, so we've got a 4-inch slope from the visual line there down to there, and we'll have a 4-inch slope back up to the edge there. When we've got these posts in, we are going to put a ring beam with some of this old weld mesh that I found. We're going to put a ring beam round just to try and hold the posts together. I don't know whether to paint these gates or leave them the way they are. They were galvanised and powder coated, but the powder coating, well, they said that, yeah, it's powder coating, it's all peeled off. So I don't know whether to just give them a blast with some hammerite type metal paint, or whether to just leave them as they are and let the paint fall off. So that's what we're up to, folks. Not massively interesting, but a very important job. And we're just trying to tidy up. So the intention is to get this 2 parts of the yard done, and then we've got rubbish around there to move. But I'm just trying to avoid like getting tied up on other jobs that don't really get you anywhere. I'm just trying to get like one job completed this summer. I'm pretty sure this is going to take us till the end of August, September. So everything else is at a standstill. So I just thought I'd kind of explain what it's like when I've got people saying just gravel your yard, just put road planings down. This is all crushed concrete, it's not soil, it's crushed concrete around 2 foot thick, and it's got road planings mixed in as well. And because of the wet spring we've had, you know, this yard here has only been down for 4 years, it'll be 4 years this summer. And it just gets covered in weeds, it's horrible. When funds allow, I am probably going to concrete this, and I'm thinking of maybe just putting 3 inches of concrete on, knowing that it'll crack, knowing that it'll move, but just to suppress the weeds. And it's only, we're not driving articulated lorries across this, it's just vans, and my tractor's only about 3 tonne. But when I say like we're getting behind with work, I've got building materials. I put them timbers for building another shed out here 5 years ago. I bought them in 2019, I bought them. And I bought all those tin sheets there in 2020. So yeah, when I say, you know, we're getting behind, stuff's taking a long time, life just gets away with you, I think. So need to kind of pull my finger out this summer, get the yard finished at the front, and we're going to make a decision over what we're doing over building another shed. I need to either get another shed built and use the materials so I've got the shed space free, or we need to decide we're not building any more sheds and just sell everything. I need to maybe have a sale and have a tidy up. But yeah, you know, just not too sure what to do with this yard out here. We're definitely going to move that fence out a bit and square it up and concrete all this, just to give us more room. We need to have a tidy up in that field, dig some hardcore out for the yard, and just decide. There's a possibility we might extend this shed, so from that corner there, might just bring it all across and back in, and just kind of roof over this area, but we're not just sure. It's all work, and it's all, we've got the materials, it's all work, but it's money, labour, struggling to get people to help me these days, so I'm kind of doing a lot of stuff on my own. So that's it. If you've been wondering what we've been up to, we've not put as many videos out this year, not been as active, but we have been doing work. We've been working every Saturday up here, but there's just not a lot to show for these sorts of jobs. It's not like building a shed where you put the telegraph poles up one weekend, put the roof trusses on the next weekend, then the tin sheets. So 3 or 4 weeks, 2 months, you know, a little shed like this goes up and it looks like a lot of progress, and you know, 3 weekends you get the floor concreted. You know, been 7 weeks on that, on tidying up the yard, putting the gate posts in, and it still doesn't look a lot. So